Sometimes life feels too loud. The world keeps talking, demanding, comparing, and pulling us in every direction. We get lost in the noise, trying to be seen, trying to belong, trying to keep up with people who don't even notice us. But there comes a time when you realize that to truly find yourself, you must disappear. Not from life, but from the chaos that surrounds it. You must step away, rebuild quietly, and come back not as who you were, but as who you were meant to be. This is the quiet art of disappearing and reinventing yourself. The Stoic way. The first step to transformation begins with silence. You must step away from the noise of others' opinions, the noise of social validation, the noise inside your own mind telling you that you must always be doing something to matter. In a world that never stops shouting, silence is rebellion. It is your way of saying, I choose peace over performance. The Stoics believed that the mind, when calm, becomes powerful. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that the world's chaos cannot touch the soul unless we let it in. So when you step back, when you log off, turn off your phone, stop chasing attention, you begin to hear something greater. Your own voice. At first, the silence will feel uncomfortable. You'll reach for distractions, for company, for something to fill the space. But that discomfort is your old self fighting to survive. Stay with it. Let the world forget you for a while. You'll find that the peace of solitude isn't emptiness, it's clarity. When the noise fades, your priorities rearrange themselves. You stop living for applause and start living for purpose. You don't need to announce your retreat. Just quietly step back, observe, breathe, and allow the storm of life to pass. The world will still be there when you return, but you will not be the same. Then comes acceptance, the hardest yet most liberating part. Accept that you need change. Most people resist this because change feels like loss. It feels like failure, but it's not. It's growth disguised as chaos. Epictetus once said that no man is free who is not master of himself. And to master yourself, you must first admit that your current way of living no longer serves you. That admission takes courage. It's easier to stay stuck, to keep doing what's familiar, even when it hurts. But the Stoics remind us, life is not about comfort, it's about virtue. When you accept the need for change, you release the illusion that life owes you anything. You stop blaming circumstances, people, or fate. You realize that everything starts and ends with you. Acceptance doesn't mean self-pity. It means seeing reality clearly and deciding to shape it. You begin to ask, what do I truly want to be? That question breaks you open. Maybe you've been chasing approval instead of authenticity. Maybe you've been moving fast but going nowhere. Acceptance slows you down. It teaches humility. It teaches honesty. It tells you that change isn't betrayal of your past self. It's an act of respect for your future one. Once you accept that you cannot stay where you are, you begin the journey of reinvention. You begin to move not away from life, but toward a better version of it. Distractions are the chains that keep you bound to your old identity. The world thrives on distraction because a distracted person is easy to control. You cannot rebuild yourself while constantly looking outward. To disappear is to cut off distractions, not as punishment, but as liberation. Seneca warned that it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Every time you check your phone for no reason, argue online, or compare yourself to strangers, you are feeding your old self. Distractions drain your energy and divide your focus. They make you reactive instead of intentional. The Stoic path is about discipline, not harshness, but control. When you remove distractions, you reclaim your attention. You realize how much noise you've been carrying. You start doing one thing at a time, fully present. Read without checking messages. Walk without your phone. Think without rushing to post it. When you learn to focus again, your mind sharpens like a blade. You begin to see that simplicity is strength. The less clutter in your life, the more clarity in your soul. People may say you've changed, that you're distant. That's fine. You're not obligated to explain your silence. Your attention is sacred. Protect it. In the stillness that follows, you'll feel something you've forgotten. Peace. You'll realize how much of your power returns when you stop giving it away to distractions. When the noise fades and the distractions fall away, you're left with yourself. That's when you must spend time alone. Solitude is not loneliness. It's a classroom where you learn who you are without the world's input. Most people fear being alone because they've never truly met themselves. But the Stoics sought solitude as a way to strengthen the mind. Marcus Aurelius would write in his journal, reminding himself that he needed to retreat inward. For the soul has its own quiet room. When you sit alone, without music, without conversation, without scrolling, you begin to notice your thoughts. Some will be harsh, some will be tender, some will surprise you. That's the process of healing. Solitude reveals the truth you've buried under busyness. You see what hurts, what you've ignored, what you long for. And in that honesty, you begin to rebuild. Spend time walking in nature, writing your thoughts, meditating, or simply breathing. The more comfortable you become with your own company, the less you'll chase validation. Solitude gives you strength that noise can never give, the strength of self-understanding. You stop asking others for direction because you start hearing your own wisdom. It's not easy at first. You'll feel restless. But over time, you'll see that solitude doesn't isolate you. It connects you to yourself, to nature, to peace. When you can sit quietly without needing anything, you've already become free. Once the fog of distractions and the fear of solitude begin to clear, your mind opens. This is where you set clear intentions. The Stoics believed in purposeful living, not drifting. They taught that every action should align with your values. But most people wander through life reacting to circumstances instead of shaping them. Reinvention requires direction. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become? What virtues do I want to live by? Don't just make a list of goals. Define your principles. Maybe it's self-discipline. Maybe it's kindness. Maybe it's wisdom. Whatever they are, they become your compass. When you have intentions, you stop moving randomly. Every choice becomes deliberate. The Stoics never spoke of grand ambition, they spoke of clarity. Epictetus said that progress is not achieved by luck or accident, but by working on yourself daily. Intentions are the blueprints of that work. Write them down. Reflect on them each morning. Let them guide your words, your habits, your energy. You will fail sometimes. That's okay. Progress is never linear. What matters is direction. With clear intentions, you live by design, not by default. The fog lifts and you begin to see the path ahead. Not all of it, but enough to take the next step with confidence. Reinvention is not a sudden transformation. It's a slow and steady rebuild. Build new habits slowly. The Stoics valued consistency over speed. They knew that lasting change is born from patience. We often want quick results, to wake up one day completely different. But nature doesn't rush, and yet everything gets done. Every morning is a chance to practice the new life you're creating. If you want peace, practice patience. If you want discipline, start small. Maybe it's waking up earlier. Maybe it's journaling for 5 minutes. Maybe it's choosing calm over argument. Each habit becomes a brick in your foundation. Don't overwhelm yourself with too many changes. Focus on one at a time. Seneca said, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." That applies to self-improvement too. Do one thing, do it well, and let it reshape you. Small habits repeated daily create invisible momentum. Over time, the new version of you becomes natural. What was once effort becomes instinct. This is how you reinvent, not through grand gestures but through quiet repetition. Be patient with yourself. Every habit you build is proof that change is possible. The Stoics' strength lies in perseverance, showing up every day no matter how small the step. Transformation is not an event, it's a lifelong practice. When you start changing, resist the urge to announce it. Stay silent and let your actions speak. The Stoics taught that virtue doesn't need applause. The best proof of progress is calm, not conversation. In a world obsessed with broadcasting every move, silence becomes power. Don't tell people you're changing. Show them. Live it. Let your consistency be louder than your explanations. When you stop seeking recognition, your growth becomes purer. You no longer act to impress. but to improve. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself never to talk much about his philosophy, but to live it instead. That's real strength. Quiet progress. People will notice eventually. They'll see the peace in your eyes, the steadiness in your reactions, the confidence that doesn't need validation. But that's not the goal. The goal is mastery of self. Every time you choose silence over defense, peace over pride, you become untouchable. Growth doesn't need to be shared to be real. Keep your transformation sacred. Protect it from opinions. Let your silence become your signature. The less you speak about what you're doing, the more energy you save for doing it. And when you do reappear, your presence will speak volumes, without a single word. Part of disappearing is learning to live with less. Embrace minimalism, not just in possessions but in thoughts, relationships, and desires. The Stoics believed that happiness comes not from having more, but from needing less. Seneca lived simply, not out of poverty but out of wisdom. He knew that the more we crave, the more we suffer. Reinvention is not about adding new layers to your identity, but removing what no longer belongs. Ask yourself, what do I truly need to live well? You'll realize it's not much. Peace, purpose, health, love, and integrity. The rest is noise. Minimalism is clarity. It allows you to focus on what matters. Clean your space. Simplify your routine. Choose quality over quantity, in things and people. When your environment is light, your mind becomes light. You stop chasing trends and start living with intention. The fewer attachments you have, the freer you become. You'll notice that peace grows where clutter ends. Even in thoughts, minimalism matters. Don't fill your mind with worry about the past or fear of the future. Focus on the present, the only moment that's truly yours. The Stoics mastered this art. They taught that peace is not found in changing the world, but in changing your response to it. Embrace less, live more. When you detach from excess, you rediscover contentment. You realize that what's essential was never external. It was always within you. Life will keep testing you. People will provoke, disappoint, or misunderstand you. But reinvention means learning to control your emotions like a Stoic. This doesn't mean suppressing feelings. It means mastering them. Emotions are natural. Reactions are choices. Epictetus taught that we cannot control events, only our interpretations of them. When you stop reacting impulsively, you start living wisely. The Stoics practiced what's called the discipline of assent, pausing before reacting, asking, "Is this within my control?" Most of what disturbs us isn't the event itself, but our opinion of it. When someone criticizes you, the insult is not the wound. Your attachment to their words is. When life disappoints you, the pain is not the obstacle. Your resistance to reality is. The moment you stop fighting what you can't control, you gain peace. It takes practice. When anger rises, breathe. When fear comes, observe it. When sadness visits, accept it without judgment. The Stoic stands firm like a rock in the tide. Waves crash, but the rock remains. Emotional control doesn't mean coldness, it means strength. It means you remain steady when others panic. You forgive faster. You act, not react. You see clearly instead of emotionally. When you master your emotions, you become unshakable. No one can manipulate your peace. You stop being a prisoner of moods and become the ruler of your mind. That's true freedom. Not the absence of emotion, but the presence of calm. And one day, when the silence has shaped you, when the solitude has healed you, when your habits have transformed you, you will reappear. Not loudly, but with quiet confidence. You will reappear stronger and wiser. The world that once distracted you will still be there, but you'll see it differently. You'll no longer chase validation because you'll know your worth. You'll no longer need to prove yourself because your life will prove it for you. The Stoics taught that true greatness is not in conquering others, but in conquering oneself. Reinvention is not about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who you truly are beneath the noise. The person who can stay calm in chaos, kind in cruelty, and grounded in uncertainty. That's the person you were always meant to be. When you reappear, people may wonder where you've been. but those who know will see it in your eyes. The stillness, the strength, the quiet joy of someone who has mastered the art of life. You don't need to explain the journey. Your peace will speak for itself. You'll smile more, worry less, and live with purpose. That is what happens when you disappear. You return not as a shadow of your old self, but as light. And the most beautiful part? You'll realize you never really disappeared. You simply found yourself again beneath the noise, waiting patiently to be remembered.